Ellen DeGeneres sued after fleeing the country. What?
Ellen DeGeneres is now being sued for negligence
Okay, I want to see this one.
after she allegedly ran a stop sign and T-boned a woman's Tesla. So even after moving across the world, it seems like Ellen, for some reason, is having a hard time avoiding American headlines. Except for this time, she isn't being called out for being a shitty boss. She's being called out for T-boning an innocent woman in her Tesla. Because I guess who needs stop signs when you can just plow into another vehicle? Not very generous if you ask me. But hey, this is very unfortunate for Ellen, as the last few years she's been under scrutiny for a numerous amount of controversies. The main one being that she creates a toxic work culture and that she doesn't
It's me. My hair's way longer than Atozi's.
really live up to the whole be kind.
I didn't even know Atozi was like Norwegian until I met him. I was like, your accent is so American, but I feel like a lot of people that learn like English when they're growing up, they kind of just default to like either like a British accent or like an American one.
Mantra that she preached on for decades on TV.
Here's the thing. I'm friends with George Bush. In fact, I'm friends with a lot of people who don't share the same beliefs that I have. When I say be kind to one another, I don't mean only the people that think the same way that you do. I
remember a trans makeup YouTube channel talking about being on the Ellen show. I forget her name now. Is it Nikki Tutorials maybe? She's like Dutch or something. And even she was saying like, when I was on the show before I went on, I was treated like just complete and utter trash the entire time. Like I just wasn't treated like a human.
mean be kind to everyone.
But before all of that, Ellen
You know, it's like you'd want to warm up your guest before they go on, right?
was mostly a beloved comedian, talk show host, and maybe more notably, the voice actor of Dory in Finding Nemo.
Want a piece of me? Yeah. Ooh, I'm scared now. What?
Wait a minute.
Stop following me, okay?
But a lot has changed since the infamous Oscar selfie has been taken, back when Ellen was actually in the good graces of the general public. But I mean, in the years since, Ellen has had such a fall from grace so monumental it should be studied. It's a good lesson in showing up for people. Like maybe if Ellen showed up to, what's her name, Dakota James's birthday party, she would have still been on TV doing what she loves doing, hosting her show and conducting hidden camera
I hate the fact that, like, because I'm a YouTuber, I can tell that he's got an auto prompt. Like one of those Elgato auto prompts where, like, a script is, like, shown. I had a streamer friend in Sweden that showed me that one of those things exists, like, for YouTubers, where the script appears, but, like, on the actual camera, so it looks like you're not breaking eye contact. Like, it's just... That shit is, like, game-changing.
experiments designed to humiliate
And they're like $800 or something.
her audience members.
So before the show, I put out some Ellen products with a sign that said only one per person. And I just wanted to see how honest my audience was, you know, because it turns out you're very honest. Any of you could have taken more than one thing, and you didn't, except for these ladies right here.
Oh, yeah. They were doing, like, a bit where, like, they're making it out that these women are thieves. I remember this.
So what is your name?
Nancy.
Nancy. Oh, Nancy. You're the kind of person like when you go trick-or-treating and nobody's home, you don't just take you take the bowl. You just walk away. No. You go sit in that Ellen jail over there right now. What's your sister's?
That's fucking terrible. That's terrible. Like, just getting her to sit, like, the public humiliation from that is crazy. Just because she took, like, a couple cups or whatever that were free to take anyway.
What's your sister's name?
Anna.
All right, well, Anna got you in big trouble.
That is such a fascinating use of being a show host. Why would you ever want to humiliate an audience member of yours? Like, she literally made her audience member go sit in Ellen jail. Imagine traveling far and you're excited to sit in the audience and get free merch, only to be portrayed as like
Public fat shame. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's almost like a dog whistle for it, because it's like, there was no fat jokes, but it's pretty obvious that people are going to draw those parallels, right? It's like, oh, fat person takes too much, as usual, you know?
some damn Daniel of being greedy and dishonest. Are you serious? But unfortunately for Ellen, she just kind of had this like death by 1,000 cuts, because nothing like truly insane happened. It was just a bunch of moments that made people go, yeah, that's kind of weird. Why would she do that to someone? But it's safe to say in recent years, Ellen has been laying low and trying to avoid drama as much as possible. She also literally moved across the world to England. So for most,
I love the background he has there, by the way. I know I mentioned this before, but like, did anyone have that as a kid? A little carpet that was like an actual street that you'd use little cars to like drive on and stuff? I don't know, like just childhood memory.
avoid drama as much as possible. She also literally moved across the world to England. So for most, she's kind of been out of sight, out of mind until this week, as she's now being sued for negligence after allegedly running a stop sign and T-boning another driver.
What does T-boning a driver mean? Side impact collision where the front of one vehicle crashes into the side of another. Oh, like yeah. T-bone steak.
Back in 2023. The woman, whose name hasn't been released, claims she stopped at a four-way intersection and made sure there was no other vehicles present before driving forward. That's when DeGeneres allegedly and suddenly, without any warning, collided into her vehicle and T-boned her, causing injury. So I mean, since this was 2023, Ellen probably was rushing to work to scream at some intern for her new Netflix special. We'll get into that later on. But the lawsuit does go on to further accuse Ellen of exhibiting negligent behavior or conduct that fell below the standard of care of a reasonable person. So they're
Thank you, Blinky, for the 12 months. 12 months. Been following you since 2018. Followed your streams since you did the first one after 6 years.
basically saying that
What's your profile picture? Is that the Nelson dog with a watermelon on its head?
Ellen wasn't paying attention to the laws of the road, and her negligence in this case, ignoring a stop sign, caused an accident. There isn't too much public information on the severity of the accident itself or the specifics of this woman's injuries, but the lawsuit does state that she suffered multiple serious personal injuries and damages as a result. Hold up. I'm just making literally the best sugar-free lemonade I've ever tasted. Yes, this is sponsored, but prove me wrong. Actually, I can prove you wrong. You can literally order a free sample pack. No payment details needed. You can get a free sample pack with free shipping on gamersubs.gg/Atozy. So if you don't believe me, they have the best sugar-free lemonade. I can literally, it's
Won't be doing that, sorry.
like Irving. So I'd have free. I am trying to get my own flavor here. That's currently my main dream. I just want to have my own flavor of a beverage. That sounds pretty awesome. And if you guys were wondering, I'm going to call it Memory Lane Melon because I heavily like melon flavored stuff. And you know, my whole branding is
Yeah, if I got a Gamer Subs flavor, I'd just call it slop.
required to deal with their injuries. Not to mention that on top of all the financial burden of the
You're sponsored by them? Yeah, but I don't own shares. So if I play that ad, Chad gets money because he has shares. Fitz gets money because he has shares. Jay Schlatt gets money because he has shares. I don't get any money. So I'm not playing that ad.
accident. And the woman also allegedly struggles with loss of enjoyment of life, emotional distress, and anxiety. And I guess all of those things stacked up on top of each other result in this woman suing Ellen for general negligence and an undisclosed amount of compulsory damages. Naturally, people in the comments of these articles called this cash grab and questioned why this woman waited 2 years before finally suing. Honestly, that's a valid question. But also, to be fair, she could have just assumed that she would recover and be back to work in a couple months, and then things didn't work out as planned. It's hard to really tell when you get such limited information in the lawsuit, but also, is that a telling thing? Like, if she was seriously injured, would they not go into way more detail on how seriously injured she was? I'm just saying, I've been sued before, and BitBoy was claiming emotional distress and lost pay and a lot of similar stuff to what she's claiming here. That's not me saying this woman's going for a cash grab here, but
I got a tub of Gamer Subs once and it tasted like that chalk candy mixed with water. Yeah, I got a bunch of Gamer Subs sent from the Cold Ones collab, like Pina Colada. I forgot to use it and it all went off. So it's just like a brick now.
BitBoy was definitely going for a cash grab at me, or well, he was just trying to drain me of money at the time. And if you subscribe to my channel in the last 2 years, TLDR, the biggest crypto bro 2 years ago decided to sue me. He didn't have a case and he ended up withdrawing the lawsuit after he raised a whole bunch of money thanks to you guys. But I digress. Other people are currently speculating that the reason it took so long for her to file a lawsuit is because she may have been trying to settle it privately, and after many failed attempts, she's now gone public. See, that kind of makes a little bit more sense. But if you have been keeping up with me for a while, you would remember that back in 2020, we covered her original first downfall. Actually, I made
Driving is scary. Can't handle drivers and their anger. Yeah, road rage brings out like a different kind of person. It's like, you know, when people get like really drunk or something, they just become like very aggressive, like a personality change. Like it's almost like that happens with driving, but like sober. It's very strange. Like road rage is a real thing.
2 separate videos on this topic. The first one was
like I literally live in the middle of the city, and like the amount of car, like dude, I remember going to New York and like you couldn't even sleep. Like you'd be on like the 40th floor in a hotel and you just hear like cars honking at each other like the entire night at like 3 in the morning.
covering some of her scandals back then, and then the second one was the work environment, because there was a ton of things that Ellen had done to piss off the majority of people during COVID, like cut a bunch of shows employees pay and
Like I got my license at 18 and then I just never drove.
and compare her being quarantined in her beautiful home to being in jail.
One thing that I've learned from being in quarantine is that people, this is like being in jail, is what it is. It's most
being in jail. And she's in like well over a $5 million mansion. It's being in jail. Like, I get it. We were all struggling during lockdown. But like, you think with how much money you have, how fucking unrelatable that sounds.
Mostly because I've been wearing the same clothes for 10 days and everyone in here is gay.
It just kind of came across as
Okay, yeah, she did the half and half there, to be fair. It was like, it was genuine, but then it was also kind of semi-sarcastic at the end. But no, I think that opening line was a bit genuine, and then she was like, okay, wait a minute. Unrelatable, diffuse.
out of touch when she was living here. But also,
Bruh. Like, okay, to be devil's advocate, no matter how big your house is, if you're there too long and you're not doing anything, it will end up being a prison. No matter how big it is, it probably just takes a lot longer. So I understand that aspect, but dude, you're putting that out to people that are like working possibly 2 to 3 jobs to make ends meet, bruh. Thank you, Yeet, for the 5. Just got the funniest pic of you reaching in a corner to a toesy coupled with the stream's title, "This shit is peak." Can I send it to you? Just post it on the subreddit or something.
so it wasn't a pandemic. This was everyone's first pandemic,
Hey, it looks like Franklin's house from GTA.
and most were scared and feeling cooped up. So
Oh,
at
it's
least we
Final
can cut
House,
her a
that's right.
little bit of slack there. Still think it's kind of a scummy thing to cut all your employees' wages, but hey, I'm just saying I didn't actually increase wages. But I also do realize we have a very different show format. And honestly, that was nothing compared to the toxic workplace claims that came out in July of 2020. Because multiple staff members came forward with various allegations, such as being penalized for taking medical leave and fear of retribution for raising complaints about working conditions. While no specific allegations were made against DeGeneres, one former employee alleged producers hid the toxic workplace complaints from the host. So I guess you could claim that you didn't know, but the show is literally named after you, and the whole show goes on about being super generous. It's just a massive juxtaposition. Then, after a couple failed apologies and attempts to sweep the article and growing rumors under the rug, the Ellen DeGeneres show ended up ending in July of 2022.
As you may have heard, this summer there were allegations of a toxic work environment at our show. And then there was an investigation. I learned that things happened here that never should have happened. I take that very seriously, and I want to say I am so sorry to the people who were affected. I know that I'm in a position of privilege and power, and I realize that with that comes responsibility, and I take responsibility for what happens at my show. This is the Ellen DeGeneres Show. I am Ellen DeGeneres. My name is there. My name is there. My name is on underwear.
It's like the Shrek, the Lord Farquaad wedding in Shrek. The executioner holding up a sign just saying, "Laugh now."
I've had a lot of conversations over the last few weeks about the show, our workplace, and what we want for the future. We have made the necessary changes, and today we are starting a new chapter. Today, I am announcing that next season, season 19, is going to be my last season.
And a couple years after that, in 2024, Ellen came out of the woodwork to release a comedy special titled For Your Approval. And in this
The moment when you realize Ellen is pretty typical of an American boss. And that is only that she puts up an altruistic front makes her especially bad. I mean, yeah, like any talk show host wants to appear likable, right? That's the entire point. I mean, look at Oprah Winfrey, like why she was basically the biggest talk show in the world in her prime.
special, she tried
I saw a documentary on like Jerry Springer. You know how they had like a bunch of degenerates on their show, like KKK members and stuff. And it was like they only went so extreme because they realized they couldn't compete with Oprah.
and she failed to laugh off the accusations about her workplace culture and wiggle her way back into people's good books. And she did actually respond to the rumors. And Ellen's version of the events includes her being kicked out of show business for being mean. She says on her own Netflix special. Okay. The top comment on the trailer also says that people think the audience are actors.
All right, well, let me catch up on what's been going on with me since you saw me last. I decided to take up gardening. I got chickens. Let me see what else I can tell you about that's been going on. Oh, yeah, I got kicked out of show business. The Be Kind girl.
Jesus. It's like watching Joe Rogan stand up, man. So bad. Like, these people can be very entertaining in, like, you know, TV hosting or podcasting, but like stand-up is just a totally different ballgame.
Wasn't kind. That was the headline. Here's the problem.
I didn't even know Joe Rogan did stand-up. I saw like one of his I saw clips of like one of his shows on like IG Reels, and I was like, this sucks.
I'm a comedian who got a talk show, and I ended the show every day by saying, be kind to one another. Had I ended my show by saying, go f yourselves, people would have been pleasantly surprised to find out I'm kind.
Modern stand-up be like less subversion, comedy, laugh now.
Now, based on the
Oh, le thing said that shouldn't be le said. Le laugh.
trailer alone,
Like, stand-up is hard, I get it. If I did stand-up, fucking hell, no one would laugh at anything I say. Because it'd just be like a fucking video game reference or something. But still, damn, man.
I don't think anyone expected to be blown away by this, but her casual attitude about
I like how he obviously got a copyright claim there for the music that was being played, so he had to edit it out in the YouTube studio and mute the music that was being played. But it also, I think it removed anyone laughing,
the
so
serious
it's just her talking.
allegations obviously rubbed a ton of people the wrong way. And public opinion of Ellen at this point was still not the best. And it kind of seemed like any hope for a return to the spotlight was over for her at this point. And after the results
What do you mean? I laughed my ass off at Metro's booming. Okay, that wasn't intentional though.
of the 2024 US election, Ellen and her wife, Portia, she stuck to her word and actually packed up and moved to the United Kingdom.
Whether you agree with her politically or not, she stuck to her guns. She is
True to her word.
She and Portia de Rossi have left the country.
Days after the election, they bailed. They went to England. Now, they had a house that they
already had a house in
They
it.
had a house, but that
So they left America because Trump won, and they moved to the one country that sucks off America the most. Very smart decision there.
that didn't mean they were going to live there. It's in the Cotswolds. And they made a decision.
TMZ guys in the news right now. Do you mean this, or like are they in the news about something else?
As our source put it, who is very connected to them, to get the hell out. And they did it days after the election. They live there now. And they're selling.
Did you cover the Ned Fulmer news? Ned Fulmer, the CEO of TMZ. Who's Ned Fulmer? Oh, this is the Try Guys. Oh, didn't he cheat on his wife or something? They separated? Yeah, I mean, that's a bit of a nothing burger, really. Yeah, one of the Try Guys, like, cheated on his wife. And then they kind of dropped him. So then, yeah, they got separated, I mean.
They're going to sell the Montecito house.
And she states it was to believe behind the insanity of the US, but fans speculated that it was really just to get away from the negative press and let the dust settle. Because believe it or not, my only crime was being mean joke didn't really land that well with a lot of people. So I guess after living peacefully with her wife in the English countryside for over a year, I'm sure she thought she finally left her Hollywood lifestyle and all these scandals in the past. That was until now, because the California legal system has just come knocking at her door. It's unclear if any more details will be released anytime soon, but I'd be surprised if Ellen didn't want to settle this privately and avoid having to return to California for what would obviously be a very public court case. For now, we'll have to wait and see if they'll actually settle or go to court. But if I would give Ellen any advice, I would take her own and just keep swimming. Or maybe to go to gamersubs.gg/atozy and pick up the best sugar-free
Where is the Ellen DeGeneres flavor?
lemonade or
We need that.
any of the other flavors using code Atozy. And again, if you don't believe me the flavors are good, you can check out a sample pack, which is free. You don't even need a credit card or debit card or any payment option.
All right, bro, get that bag. You get that bag.